So Shannon Sharpe is being accused of assault and rape. There is a young woman. She is now in her early 20s, but she says that she met Shannon Sharpe when she was 19 years old in a gym in Los Angeles back in 2023. And she says that because of what she experienced, and she says that she alleges that the rape was brutal, like it was very it was aggressive. She wants $50 million in exchange. So this was filed late Sunday in Nevada by attorney Tony Busby.
Wait a minute now. I'm sorry. At this point, after I hear Tony Busby, I don't need to hear nothing else. Tony Busby's name, his work, his word, nothing dealing with him is credible. He literally pulled this same move on Jay-Z, and we found out the whole lawsuit was a lie and a money grab. Then for the Breakfast Club to be reporting this whole lie as if it's legit, when it's very obvious, this is another one of Tony Busby's attempts to blackmail another rich black man, coming up with these fake victims, these fake stories, all working in cahoots with the civil justice system to rob black men. It's not a coincidence that Shannon Sharpe was expected to sign a $100 million deal for Club Shay Shay. And now all of a sudden you got Tony Busby's grimy, slithering, slimy, sloppy self up here trying to take all his money over obvious lies in a clear setup.
Now, this woman is alleging that Shannon Sharpe raped her multiple times over the course of a 2-year relationship. The relationship that they had was sexual and parts of it were consensual, but she says during their relationship, because he was physically stronger, a lot older than her, like 30 some years older than her, and just, more powerful, he began to get really aggressive. But she, at this point, she was already in it. She says that he was manipulative. He would threaten to choke her and slap her.
And look how eager this woman is to report this. This is how these hyenas report on black men. Just repeating all these damaging words like the R word, essay, very damaging, and not analyzing the information enough to determine how legit it is before taking the approach of reporting this to millions of people like she's actually spewing facts when she's only promoting the lie. It's like Tony Busby handed this lady over a script at the Breakfast Club, and these fools up here with 2 black women and 2 black men are all assisting Tony with this obvious smear campaign and money grab, not once questioning anything that's being said.
She's also said that at some point she was being recorded without her consent, and that she later found out and alleges that the videos were shown to people. Now, when they first met in the gym back in 2023, she says that she didn't know who he was, that it was just like an older guy that was like, checking out in the gym. He was very persistent, so eventually they started texting, conversation, and that led into them, beginning to see each other outside of the gym. They got into an argument in a home. This was after the whole Instagram live thing, because with the woman that we think is named Michelle. Yes, because at that point she said that they were in a they were in an actual relationship. They were in Vegas together. So when that happened, she had already kind of been, in this thing where he's verbally, allegedly, but she thought that they were together.
Okay, and if she thought she was somehow exclusively in a relationship with him, how is she now talking about essay and the R word? Like, really? And if that's all true, why didn't you go to the police and file a criminal report? I'll tell you why. Because she knew she would be filing a false police report. She would be lying. But Tony Busby was able to get his paralegals together to type up these lies for a civil suit and finesse some money because they know they'll never come back around and prosecute her for telling lies anyway. So they're taking a chance trying to get a piece of that $100 million deal. I'm telling you, this is absolutely disgusting. And the idiots reporting this, they're not asking any questions, not going through any process to determine if this is actually legit. That's disgusting too. Because it doesn't take much to realize what's going on here.
This Instagram live happens. She gets upset. She breaks it off because he's supposed to be exclusive, allegedly, to her. And he doesn't like that. She tries to turn on her phone location at some point during these arguments and send the phone location to her friends. He tells her and threatens her allegedly to say that he will effing kill her if she ever does that again. But the part of it, she says that she was allegedly anally twice and that it was very, very brutal. She alleges the last incident happened January 2025. So it was, according to her, this was very recent.
And while everybody is humming in the background like some flamingos, nobody stopped and said, wait, let me use my brain for a minute. If you got R-worded multiple times on multiple occasions over at least a year, why you never called the police after the first time or at all? It's like every time people report on these false allegations and these stories, they never use critical thinking to realize they're being duped. The lie is just so entertaining, they all go along with it. And then when we find out people like Tony Busby just lied once again, none of them will come back and report that. especially with the same intensity and eagerness they had when they first started spreading the lie.
Shannon Sharpe released a statement after all of these allegations dropped, but he's denying this. He's denying this. He also is saying that there is a video that this woman's team has that he's been shown.
She claims Shannon was the one videotaping her when she's the one who was videotaping consensual acts and then edited the video in order to fit with her premeditated false allegations. This is how you know it was a setup.
So, the fact that if this is true, right, why would she go grab Tony Busby as the lawyer?
Yeah, if you want to be taken seriously, you don't go get Tony Busby.
But she might have grabbed him a long time ago. We don't know when she actually grabbed him. Do we know when she grabbed him?
Well, so we do know now. We do have a timeline exclusively. So I reached out to Attorney Busby and I asked him, first of all, did this happen? Did you guys file this because of that $100 million podcast negotiation conversation? And he said they've been in contact with Shannon Sharpe's counsel since February, long before any announcement. So then I said to him, well, they're also saying in Shannon Sharpe's statement that there's a video that has been altered to make it look like there's intercourse or whatever. It's non-consensual when it's actually consensual if you show the full video. Tony Busby said to me, he is a liar. He never even actually saw it. It wasn't even referenced or referred to in the case we filed. But now that his lawyer has breached the mediation agreement that Mr. Sharpe's counsel insisted upon, it should be known that there is indeed a video. The video was shown to his lawyers at a mediation. The video was also made available to Mr. Sharpe for him to personally view it in full at my office. He didn't want to view it. He chose to offer a substantial amount of money instead, which my client ultimately rejected.
And Tony Busby calling somebody a liar is laughable. Again, he already lost all credibility when it was exposed that he was going around trying to shake down these men for money with fake victims and lies. And what Tony is describing is blackmail. They have an edited video, and they're trying to get $50 million out of Shannon Sharpe for that video. They know there's not a sensible person that will want a video of them out there like that. So they're basically trying to destroy him. And I don't think Shannon should offer anything. No, these days, to run money at a situation like this won't make it go away. Nah, not in this era. You have to fight it head on and prove them wrong in court. Dead the issue there. And then when you're done taking on these crooked people, you have to follow up. Push for prosecution of these city girl hustlers and hold these slimy attorneys accountable, misusing and abusing the justice system.
So then I said, well, wait, y'all mediated? Because that means that there
been going on. Like, he's been doing all this.
Been wanting to, like, there was possibly a settlement. Like, there's been conversations, right? Like, y'all didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah, but common sense lets you know that, though. These lawsuits don't just drop. Like, they always reach out to your team beforehand to let you know
that we're about to put this out.
Absolutely.
And if you want to put the kibosh on it.
That's right.
And the girl reporting this, spewing all this nonsensical baby bop bimbo babble, you said yourself. The attorney told you they've been in mediation since February. Translation, they've been blackmailing Shannon for over 2 months. They weren't able to get what they wanted out of him and determined they'll go for $50 million after they found out about that $100 million deal. Yeah, they knew Shannon was making big money already. He was on FS1, then Club Shay Shay blew up early 2024. He had plenty of deals since then. The wine business, ESPN. They already counted his pockets. That's a part of the pocket picking setup.
I just hung up the phone with a legal representative for Shannon Sharpe who wanted to make some things clear.
Oh, you fast.
They want to make it very clear that the information that Tony Busby shot me about the video, and what they're saying is that Tony Busby is making it seem like when he speaks to me that they were offered this ability to see this video in full when they asked. Because they did ask, hey, let us see the video because we want to make sure it's not altered. But they said that never happened. He denied them the ability to see the video in full. And from what they were told from their client, Shannon Sharpe, the video that they did see was an altered video. And the reason why they wanted to see it was because they know from what they're being told there's another version of this video. I'm also told with the mediation there was
what is the video showing? Is it showing a quote unquote force?
In the statement that Shannon released, he said that there's a video that show consensual sexual acts where he's doing things that she requested be done. Like I don't know if it's like a role play situation or whatever the case may be, but it was all consensual. But it's edited to look a completely different way, allegedly, according to Shannon. Right. And Tony Busby is saying that is not true. We showed them the full video. Matter of fact, Tony Busby said specifically to me in the email that Shannon Sharpe did not want to see the video. He just wanted to throw money at the problem. Shannon Sharpe's team is saying that did not go down that way. There were conversations about millions of dollars, but that came from their side. And they feel like it was a shakedown, and that's why they walked away.
Exactly. I believe they're telling the truth that the money conversation was initiated by Tony Busby's side. This is part of Tony's whole MO. He's done this in several cases over and over again against these high-profile men. And if he can't get the number he's looking for, he's going to file paperwork filled with a bunch of salacious lies. Again, this is not his first time representing an obvious liar, then using the media, especially black media, to legitimize the lies, hoping to bully the person they're blackmailing into a larger settlement.
I will have some more information once I get back on the phone, but I literally came in here hanging it up. But they're very adamant.
They reached out to you.
I reached out to them and he gave me a call because they're very adamant about, of course, they wanted to pick, their side of things and tell what they believe is their truth. So we'll have more on that, I'm pretty sure, because the attorneys have a lot to say. Shannon Sharpe released a statement after all of these allegations dropped. The statement starts with a quote from a text message. So the quote, and some of it I can't even say, I don't think, but it says, the woman is allegedly texting Shannon Sharpe saying, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and me with it while you're effing me.
Yes.
And then they have the woman's name. And it says that this is a text that she sent to Shannon Sharpe on October 7, 2023. Now, there's another text message that says, I know you missed this big, juicy A word. Can I say that?
Yeah. No, just say A.
Okay, A word. $25K for each cheek. And then her name is mentioned again. And this message is from January 1st, 2025. Now, they're saying that the lawsuit that was filed by this woman is orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant...
She said $25,000 each cheek.
Each cheek.
What?
But I mean, he led with money. She alleges that when they first met in the gym, one of their first conversations was, he said, yo, if you get fit and lose weight with me and win this competition, I'll pay for you to get your boobs done.
How old was she at the time, they said?
And clearly, this woman is a street-walking 304, making these transactions with Shannon, yet the reporter framed this whole story like this 304 was an exclusive girlfriend that was being cheated on. Now we're finding out she was making transactions with Shannon, like most streetwalkers do, and the co-host is trying to minimize this woman asking for $50,000 to have relations, obviously proving she's not what she positioned her to be while reporting this story.
At the time, in the documents, they say she was 19 when she met him in 2023, but she's now in her early 20s.
And Shannon, what, 56 now? He'd have been 54 at the time?
Let me see how old he is.
Yeah, I think he's like 56.
Nah,
with $2,500 a cheek, so what? Like
25,000 a cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
Google says he is 56 years old.
And were they actually a couple?
Yes, they were. They were doing whatever this dance was.
He was 50 and she was 19.
54
and she was 19 years old.
So listen, and crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. So yes, whatever they were doing at the time, according to Shannon Sharpe, it was consensual, but she's looking at it a different way.
But that's not against the law because she was of age. So even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
This is a very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's and I ain't talking about just Shannon. I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability. Find you one woman and settle your ass down, okay?
I agree with you, but it's not against the law. He can as long as the person's over a certain age, it is not against the law. So legalities, that's not against the law.
I'm with you.
It don't feel right, but for himself, it's not against the law.
I'm with you. I'm just saying a 54-year-old man is supposed to be laid up with his wife and kids somewhere. Hell, maybe even have a couple of grandkids. I don't want to be chasing no young girls at 54.
Because what are the conversations like?
Yeah, whatever, but we're talking about laws here. A woman lying and accusing him of basically breaking laws when no laws are broken, that's out of order. Talking about her age and what somebody should be doing or not doing, I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about serious allegations and the law. It's not against the law for a 50-year-old man to date a 20-year-old woman. And it's also foolish for men to be going around telling other men, especially a millionaire who's already been judged by the family court system, that he should have been married. You don't avoid issues like this by getting married. No, you avoid these issues by surrounding yourself with good women. The problem is finding good women. Most of the women these men, especially men with money, are running into are Jezebels. And you can't tell if she's a good woman just off her age. Evil doesn't have an age. I cover cases all the time with 20-year-old evil people, 30-year-old, 40, 60-year-old evil people. I'm talking about gangsta grannies. And evil doesn't have a race. The woman can be white, black, Asian, whatever. Evil also doesn't have a gender. It can be a man or a woman. The one I hear all the time, usually from jealous women, they love saying they shouldn't be going after a non-black woman. Like you do know a white woman or a Hispanic woman or whatever, they're not the only ones that can lie. Keisha has a long documented history of lying too. Or they like to say they shouldn't go after pretty women, as if pretty women are the only ones that could be conniving or deceitful. Listen, the prison is filled with a bunch of ugly, conniving, lying women too. Nah, it's not about none of that. It's really about character and influence. That's because you can have a good person that can also be influenced by evil. So yeah, it's not an age, a race, a gender, or somebody's attractiveness. Being attractive doesn't make you a bad person, and being unattractive doesn't make you a good person.
What are the conversations? If I'm 54 and you 20,
That's what I thought about. Like, what do y'all even talk about?
I don't agree with
Signs
it.
of a stroke.
But all I'm gonna
But
say
it's
is
not
when you
illegal.
see all these white people do it, Leo DiCaprio, Seinfeld, Hugh Hefner, Joaquin Phoenix, John Mayer, when they date young girls. Nobody says anything. I'm not saying it's right, but it's not against the law.
But I
Now,
saw Shannon on with Andrew Schultz, and he was just talking about all of the ways he avoids situations like this. I don't know if y'all saw that part of the conversation. How he don't even want to be on the elevator with a woman and stuff like that. It's the same thing with this. You know, a lack of discipline and stability can increase the chances of a situation like this happening. You 54 years old, a 19-year-old, 20-year-old.
No, you're right.
It's like, come on. If you're going to be that disciplined with everything else, you got to be disciplined all across the board.
But you know what's gonna happen now? You're gonna see more than one accuser start popping out now.
And Charlamagne, you sound real stupid on this one. Since when did having consensual relations with an adult as a grown single man mean you don't have discipline? No, this right here is the case of a man who got set up. He's being blackmailed. He's got self-discipline. He's got stability. A woman won't make him stable. That's low-value man talk. The men that don't have nothing. The ones that need a woman to provide stability. No. Traditionally, the man is the one to provide stability. And a woman don't discipline no man? What are you talking about? That's not making any sense. Nah, lack of discipline is sniffing women's seats on the Breakfast Club when they get out the chair. Charlamagne, that's a sign of an undisciplined man. Or a married man flirting with other men every day on the show. Like, come on, Charlamagne should really just stay out of this whole conversation.
Well, I hope not.
But that's
Let's not hope that.
but that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
One accuser is suing for $100 million. There's gonna be another girl that's gonna be like, well, it happened to me too. I need 20. Then another one's gonna come. I need 10. That's what you're gonna see. I hope not too.
I would hope not.
I hope he didn't do this, but that's what you more
That's
likely
what
to
we've
see.
seen in the past.
And y'all, and why wouldn't you wait till he signed his podcast deal?
Because we don't know nothing about no.
She might not
He
have
put
known
it out
the
last week. He just put the announcement out last week.
Did you see these text messages? In this statement, these alleged text messages, this woman said she wants a big black baby put in her. She ain't waiting on nothing.
I don't know.
You want a big black baby?
She said it twice. They included these text messages that show the nature of their consensual relationship.
So she not black either.
Nope, she white.
So once again,
We can't say her name.
Can we play with
you
race?
can't even pronounce it.
Yeah, you should be able to say her name. You're reporting and legitimizing her whole story. And just because the woman isn't black doesn't mean she's white. Like, y'all can't be this slow.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just don't know how to pronounce it.
Let me see.
Here, I'm about to show you.
Please.
Okay, Jess.
That's what I'm
No.
here for.
Okay, Jess.
No? Okay.
Let me see.
We doing this or no? What do we?
Because I know it's G. It begins with a G.
You know what? Let's let Jess try
Here.
to pronounce
The
it.
lawsuit filed by, it's a third graph.
Doom, doom,
Okay.
doom, doom,
Gabriella Zuniga.
Ooh. Why you call her a Zoom nigga? You call that woman a Zoom nigga for no reason. That woman ain't even do nothing to you and you call her a Zoom nigga. You see what I'm saying?
No, I didn't.
All right.
Zuniga? What the hell? She's not African,
That was
right?
probably one of her tweets to Shannon. That one of her texts to Shannon. I want you, Zoom. All of that in me.
And you see it all the time, right? Older men date these young women. But let me just flip it. Just imagine if you have a 20-year-old daughter or a 19-year-old daughter, and she brings home a 50-year-old man. We fighting. We fighting.
Shannon Sharpe
There's
will
nothing
beat
that
your
y'all
ass.
have in common.
What?
Beat your ass.
would beat your
I wasn't talking about Shannon Sharpe. I got Logan though. I got Lil Logan. What do you think Lil Logan
If
goes
you
to the
bring
gym
a
every day?
old, frail 54-year-old, it's on. You bring somebody like Shannon, and you gotta go get the gun.
he got new hips.
I got Lil Logan. I got Lil Logan. Logan in the gym right now. Lil Logan in the gym right now. Logan, what up, Logan? I know you got us on.
He gonna turn that hip pack and get busy.
All right.
All right, we gotta wrap up.
That is the latest with Lauren.
Yes.
I don't know. Bringing home somebody is insinuating that this was a real relationship. It sounds very transactional. You have to remember, a street walking 304 is paid to be with anybody for money. Their clients could be 25 to 95. This is not the same as your 20-year-old daughter. What I don't understand is how they can't see this is a clear money grab From an unreliable source, Tony Busby, with no credibility whatsoever, they took this whole salacious story on air to legitimize these lies to millions of people, repeating all these words on morning radio where you have parents on the way to work with their children listening. This is what they're feeding to the brains of black men, black women, and black children. And then we wonder why, as a community, we're in a constant state of complete chaos, recycling junk. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this mess below. Special thank you to our brother Dark Power. I appreciate you for all your support for the channel. You can show your support as well. The link to PayPal is below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.